What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a cut test with some half-inch sisal, and we're going to compare 14C 28N, 8cr13mov, and good old 4116 Krupp steel. And we're going to do, all three cut tests at the same time. All three are wearing fresh 17 degrees per side edges, finished at F400 on a Beneve Dragonstone. So they're all at F400, and a couple passes on a bare leather strop to knock off any remaining burr, and 2 passes per side on 1 micron diamond on a hard piece of leather. So all exact same edge angle, exact same finish, and we're going to see. And the reason I'm testing these steels in specific in this case would be, now I do want to say the geometry, I can only control edge geometry. I can't control grind geometry in these cases. This knife here is definitely a little thicker behind the edge than the other two. That's just part of it. But, so it's going to make some difference, but not much. Not in this kind of test. So the thinnest behind the edge is going to be the Kershaw. So it's going to have the biggest advantage here. The range boss is going to have the biggest disadvantage, as it is the thickest. But like I said, in this type of test, not going to make that much of a difference. Okay, so the reason I'm doing these 3 steels head to head, these are 2 of these are very, very common steels that are very prevalent within the knife community, and that would be 14C and 8cr. 8cr being loved by some, hated by many. And the underdog here is clearly the 4116. Now, I've said it many times, 4116 is not the garbage steel that people like to pretend it is. Personally, I find it a very good user steel. And I would honestly take 4116 if it's done well over 14C. But that's me. And you would hear many people would say that they would take 8cr over 4116. And again, I would take the 4116 for reasons that I've explained in other videos. But so what we're going to do, we're going to mark off basically about 1.25 inch section. And keep in mind, we're doing 1/2 inch, not 3/8 inch rope. So, a lot of your testing, your YouTube edge testing is at 3/8 inch sisal, but I'm going to do 1/2 inch just because I want to accelerate the wear. So what I'm going to do, I am going to mark off basically in this belly area, just about, yeah, we're going to go just slightly over 1 inch. So about 1.1 inches. That's going to be our cut zone. Let me go ahead and mark all of them real quick. Okay. we're going to go about 1 1/8 inches right in the belly. Okay. Okay. I want you guys to see all of this. That's why I didn't do it beforehand. Like I said, about it. We're going to go 1 1/8 inches. Damn marker. Running that ink. Okay. So, damn, we're already 6 minutes in. All right. Let's do this. So, what we are going to do, we're going to use newspaper instead of printer paper to call the test. Each edge is going to, of course, start off extremely sharp. Extremely sharp. Beautiful. I need something to write. So how we're going to do this, we're going to do 20 cuts and then test. And after the initial 20, we will do a test on the paper, and then after that, every 10 cuts, we'll check it again until it starts to tear magazine paper. I mean, newspaper. Everything in view. Of course, all the cutting is going to be focused within this 1 1/8 inches. Let's do it. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, almost cut myself this in, and 20. Okay, here was 20. Let's see where we're at. Okay, looking good. Yep, we're in good shape. All right, so now we're going to do 10. Every 10 and we'll check. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. I can definitely feel the head starting to dull. Not wanting to get through the rope by 8. I think it was 8. No, it's 9, I believe. 10. Oh yeah, this edge is really starting to give up. All right, 10. Oh. Yeah, a little catch is starting to form, but not enough to call the test. Okay. I do believe it will not go another. We're going to check it at 5. One, two, three, come on, 4, 5, 6. Let's check it there. Okay. Okay. One. We need 4 more to make 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 10. Yeah, I do believe that's going to be it right there. It's snagging. Yeah. All right, we're going to call it. So she got 40. Whew, that half inch is rough on the hands, I'll tell you that. It's a lot easier to cut 3/8. A lot. A lot easier to cut 3/8. All right, so let's do the 8cr now. It's probably going to be a quite uncomfortable. This little thin Kershaw chill. And this is, of course, 8cr. Alrighty, so we're going to do 20, then check, then every 10 we're going to check. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15. Ooh, this 8cr is already giving up. 16. Check it early. Oh yeah, she's already, I mean, it's cutting, of course. This is where it should be at. See it wanting to skate right there? Right there. Oh yeah, that's the edge is done. So what we get, 16? We're at 16. Just want to double check. Yeah, we're at 16. Tell you what. The difference between 3/8 inch and half inch is crazy. Literally crazy. And how much faster it wears and the edge and how much harder it is on your hand. All right, now let's do the 4116. I honestly think you'll be surprised. This steel gets a lot of rap that it does not deserve. Let's do it. Man, that's tough on the hand. All ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Damn, let's tear my hand up. 10, 11. Whew, my hand's sore. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Damn it, I let it spread on me. 19, and 20. I can definitely feel the edge is starting to decline. And I will tell you, when people hate on D2 as much as they hate on D2, D2 would blow through this test much easier than these stainless steels will. Okay. Also, so you can see this is where the edge should be before use. Okay. Okay. Tell you what, the worst part of it's right here. Trying to keep that rope from fraying. See, that's where the 3/8 you can just kind of push and pop through it. But with the 1/2 inch, you can't. It'll want to fray on you. You can't really just push cut it. You almost have to saw cut it. And it wears the edge much faster. Sorry, guys. I'm just taking a second to let my hand chill out. But yeah, like it 4116 really gets a rap that it doesn't deserve, and I don't understand why people hate on it so much, because after this edge will drop back to as good as it was, or nearly as good as it was before the start of this test. And it'll do that many, 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 many times, is where the other steels will too, but a few times. This steel will just keep doing it and keep doing it. All right, so we're at 20. Let's torture the hand some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, let's tear my hand up. 10, 10. I don't think it's going to quite go 40. I think that's it. No, not quite, but it's almost done. Yeah, it's almost done. I'm going to take three more cuts, probably do it. One, 2, 3. Let's try that. Oh, it's so close. A little far back to stand. Hold on. Yep, that's it. Yep. All right. So we got 33. Okay. So here's our figures. 14C did 40, 8cr did 16, 4116 did 33. Now I'm going to tell you which edge. Oh, actually, let's look at them through the microscope. Okay. Let's look at the 14C first. Okay, right there's our cutting area. Yeah, you can definitely see the wear. Of course, it's more towards the tip, just like it's going to be on all of them, but you can clearly see the wear right there. And overall, pretty good performance from that 14C. Now let's check the 8cr. Here's where the cut starts. Yeah, and you can see the edge is far more cooked on this 8cr. Oh yeah, edge is far more toast on the 8cr than the 14C. Fibers, clean it off. Get our cut test or cut. There's our cut. Where our cut test starts, or the edge part of the edge is used. And here's what the 4116 looks like. Not that bad at all. Now you can see some wear right here. That's where the bulk of the cutting's done. Okay. All right. So actually the 4116 and the 14C look relatively close. Let's see, do we see any glinting? No. To my fingers, which one feels the sharpest? The edge goes to here. I feel a little rolling right about here on this 14C. I can feel the rolling. I don't feel that on the 4116. Okay, I'd say they feel very close to the same. Oh no, and the 8cr feels very dull. Yeah, there's a distinct difference. Very close, feel very similar. Way duller. Now, like I said, as far as, well, let's see. Here's what we'll do. We will make. We'll go to 5 micron. We will make 6 passes per side on each steel and see if we can bring it back to shaving. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see if we're back to shaving. Yes, we are. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. All right. 14C, come right back to shaving. Okay. Three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Easily, oh yeah, easily shaving. In fact, I'm going to say it's shaving easier than the 14C is. Let's see. Oh yeah. Look at that. Back to push cutting, no problem. A good emulsion has a lot to do with that. Both back to push cutting. Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to assume the 8cr will come back to shaving too, even though it does feel pretty dull, and I don't think it's going to do it within 6 passes. Yeah, it is too. Okay. Man, it's crazy what a good 5 micron emulsion will do for you. Lacey's emulsion is so good. That stuff really is incredible. Alrighty, so as you can see, 4116 is definitely not a garbage steel. You know, it's performing not that far off of what 14C is, and I can assure you that if I continued this test, I might get this to strop back maybe to shaving maybe 2 or 3 more times with 6 passes. But with 6 passes, I probably could get this to come back to shaving probably 10 plus times. And yeah, I'd say 14C probably 2 to 4 times realistically if I kept going before I couldn't get it to come back shaving with, say, 6 passes. This, I would say 10 plus for sure. This one, probably more like 1 to 2. Now, of course, if I increased, pass count, say I took it up to 10 passes per side, then I could go longer. But the outright straight up edge retention of 14C is probably going to be a little bit longer than 4116. But if you go by book, it's going to say 8cr would have more edge retention than 4116. That's just not the case. That's just not the case. Not in use. Not with your average production knives. I've pretty much never had 8cr outperform 4116 in use. To me, it performs in edge retention. It performs very comparably to 14C. That's about the edge retention that I expect out of it, except to be able to be stropped back many more times and not lose its bite as quickly as 14C does. And these edges right here absolutely show me what, I've been showed many times. This edge right here absolutely feels like it has more bite when it's straight off the rope. Even before stropping, this edge feels like it has more bite than that 14C does already. Yeah, that edge feels like it's got more bite, no doubt about it. And the 8cr, yeah, it just don't feel like it's got hardly any bite at all left. But anyways, there you go. I'll do more tests like this where we'll head-to-head steels. I think it'll be fun. my wrist and hands going to have to get used to holding that rope, you know, like that, and not getting cramps in here. That cutting that 1/2 inch is a workout, and especially when I jump up to even steels like say S30V. That's gonna be tough on the hands. Yeah, but anyhow, don't think 4116 is as bad as people say it is. It's really not. It's a fantastic user steel. If you like 14C, you'll like 4116, guaranteed. They perform very similar. They're both very tough. You know, 14C is more stainless. It is more stainless, but as far as edge retention and toughness, they're very similar. Ease of sharpening, they're very similar. I do believe 4116 takes a stickier edge, and it holds on to the bite better. But anyways, there's the test. That was a long video, so I don't want to keep you guys and just ramble. But yeah, 3 very common budget steels. There's the performance. All right, guys.